At 3:15 p.m., a police van carrying 8 suspects from the Ministry of Finance arrived at the anti-corruption court in Nakasero. These individuals are accused of involvement in the 60 billion shillings Bank of Uganda heist, which dominated headlines in November last year. Initially, the police attempted to offload the suspects near the holding cell outside the court. Before the suspects disembarked from their vehicles where they were being transported, the police tried to make a ring around them and they were protecting them from being covered by the journalists who were standing outside the court cells. And this caused commotion for the better part of the time when they had just arrived. In an unusual move, police officers made every effort to block journalists from capturing footage of the suspects. The situation grew tense when a van's driver nearly knocked off a cameraman trying to secure a vantage point.
It's okay. You don't come and start you want to bully us around. Who do you think you are?
Eventually, the suspects were escorted from the holding cells into the courtroom. The 8 individuals who appeared before the court include Lawrence Semakula, the Accountant General. They were presented before Chief Magistrate Rachel Nachaze, who read and explained the charges against them.
Of securing unlawful gain for MJS International London deliberately introduced executable-like scripts on the Oracle program on the IMFS system that resulted into authorized payment of $8,500,000.
It is alleged that between January and October 2024, Lawrence Semakula, the Accountant General, and Jennifer Muhuruzi, the Undersecretary and Accounting Officer, failed to implement effective financial safeguards, leading to a loss of $6.25 million. Additionally, Tony Yahweh, a senior IT officer at the Ministry of Finance, is accused of unlawfully altering payment instructions for $6.13 million intended for International Development Bank Association. Peterson Twesigomwe, an assistant commissioner, was absent from court along with Deborah Kusima and Paul Nkalubo, are alleged to have participated as accomplices in the corruption scheme. During the proceedings, the defense lawyers argued that they were not served with the charge sheet from the prosecution, and they also complained of the fact that their right or the suspects' rights were being violated of applying for bail, since some of the cases they have been accused of are bailable.
They are now in detention. They have a right of applying for bail. And that is what court should be considering now at this juncture. But my Iranian friends are not talking about it.
The good thing about the Anti-Corruption Court division is that the High Court sits in the same premises with the Chief Magistrate. Thus, counsel for the said persons can apply for their bail even as early as tomorrow.
The 8 suspects were remanded to prison until February 18th, when their case will be mentioned, before being forwarded to the High Court for trial. Yesterday, police searched the homes of the suspects, though it remains unclear whether any relevant evidence was recovered. Meanwhile, the Chief Magistrate has issued criminal summons for Peterson Twesigomwe, who was the first to be questioned by police and was previously granted bond during investigations. Sudhir Byaruhanga, NTV.